my family, my dad's name was Joe, and my mother's name was Hattie, and Veneman. And my dad came down here into the Panhandle in 1905, he and his brother. They liked the place. They thought they'd love to live here. Both of them were single. So my dad went back to Missouri, where my mother was, and then they decided that they would go to Montana. And Dad would work there in the mines until he obtained enough money to build a little house here in the Panhandle for us. So they moved up there. They were married there at Butte, Montana. I was born there. And before I was a year old, they came down here. It was in 1907. And when Mama came, she said that she was the happiest person on earth. She saw this little two-room house out here on the prairie with nothing around it, but she thought, oh, it's ours. And she was just so happy. And I guess to her dying day, she always liked that little two-room house.
I wonder what it was like back then, what this Panhandle looked like, because you know it's been so, like we said, so dry here, and things have changed over the years. I've read where there was grass up to the bellies of the horses, and sometimes that's hard to imagine. Did she ever talk about what it looked like when she came?
Well, I know that I don't think the grass was ever that tall in our part. We settled in the northern part of the Panhandle, about 7 miles from the state line, and it wasn't that high there. But she too thought that it was rather God-forsaken, but she did love it. She just because it was theirs.
You said you all were from Missouri originally and via Montana. Missouri's pretty green state with trees and that type of thing. I know I had a little bit of a culture shock when I came out here from Tennessee. I wondered where all the trees were, and I wasn't too sure I wanted to stay, but I've loved it ever since.
Well, there's just too many trees back there for me. You have to look up straight up to see anything. And then what do you see? Just the sky. And I had an aunt that came out to visit, and she didn't like it here. So I said, well, just look how far you can see. Yeah, but what do you see when you look? She didn't see anything.